Greetings, Israel, Judah. Brother DFG here. Hey, my dear brothers and sisters. I just want to take a couple of minutes and share some insights, takeaways from an event on yesterday. And before I get into the details of it, I think it's important for me to say that although I have some thoughts around it, and I do believe that I have been given some revelations about what I observed on yesterday, in no way am I a fan of the sport anymore. That is in my very, very distant past. And I'm talking about the sport of football, to be American football, to be clear. But as a watchman, I have a calling and a responsibility to be aware of what's going on all over this flat earth, so that, if there are things that we need to be aware of, things that we should be warned of, then I have the whereabouts to be able to at least speak to it. So, again, I think it's important that I state that because, again, I'm not a fan of the sport. Used to be, but not anymore. Bigger and more important things have been set before your brother, your elder, and that's what my focus is, and that's what my focus will be until the day I end up here, the cemetery, or Yah comes. But that to be said, yesterday's Super Bowl had several revelations there that I thought were important enough for me to bring forward this message to my brothers and sisters. Short, but concise and direct. And I bring it to you again for information purpose. Do with it as you see fit. If you don't agree with it, if you think it's not relevant to you, that's okay. It's not a problem for me. But for those who, who understand the times that we're in, I guess to say that the best way, I think it's important that you hear it, okay? Everyone else, if it's not for you, it's not for you. We're good, okay? No problem. But several things came out of watching or gleaning the event. I didn't watch it in its entirety. Quite frankly, I was studying the book of Jeremiah chapter 52 while it was playing. And if you know, that chapter is a very extensive chapter, so unbeknownst to me that the chapter was somewhat relative to what was going on in that damn game. And here are some of the takeaways. First and foremost, what became very obvious to me in the commercials, that they know that AI is not just AI. They know that the fallen are here. Now, of course, they're going to conflate that by saying, oh, it's aliens, and they're going to make mockery because they don't want us to take it serious. They want to keep our people, as Hosea said, in a severe lack of knowledge or in a severe place of ignorance. So they know that they're here. They know that whether it be the what we call UFOs, or whether they're the aliens, which we know are fallen angels, they are fully aware of those things. Those things are here, and you'll see it in the thumbnail where I'll show you why people are so busy looking down that they're forgetting to see what's coming from above or from beneath. It depends on your perspective. As is above, as it is below. Isn't that what they believe? And so we're sometimes so preoccupied on what's happening in our lives that we're forgetting of the major events that's going on around us. Therefore, the watchmen are here to bring up that, something for you to think about, something for you to consider. So they had several commercials throughout, that event that were directed at aliens. Aliens here, aliens with Oreo cookies, aliens with a new website, aliens with just about everything. I mean, it was really somewhat overwhelming, if you let me tell it. Way too much for there to be nothing to see there, okay? So they were pushing that particular piece of information, in plain sight, but with a little twist as though it is, not to be taken serious. When in truth, it's extremely serious because it's a part of the judgment, as it was in the days of Noah, as we know. Enoch talks very clearly about that in chapter 7, chapter 8, chapter 105 in the book of Enoch. it reminds us clearly that those entities have always existed, and they all were put away for a period of time until the last days. And then they would reappear, and they would reintroduce mankind to every kind of wickedness known to mankind, as you can see going on all over, again, this flat earth. Inside of those commercials, they also went on to their whole little, Baal worshiping. I mean, clearly Baal worshiping, because they started pushing, the deity called Jesus. Baal, Ra, Na, Tammuz. What are some of the other names? Gyro, Krishna, Semiramis. The ancient one that's been here, born of a virgin, died, was resurrected, and men made him the Son of God. They even pushed him. They also had this pantheon in what they consider heaven. And what did they have up there? A bunch of white females. A couple of little sprinkled Israelites in there, I would assume. I think I saw a gay guy in there as well, homosexual, sodomite. They are the governors. They rule the world. Women rule the world. That's what they're projecting. No disrespect to my sisters. I'm telling you what they're pushing, the propaganda, the agenda that's being pushed. And of course, they had to do their good feet washing services too, which is strictly New Testament BS lies. Or truths, if you believe the lies. Many of us used to. We don't anymore. Again, what did Hosea 4:6? Yahuwah's people perish for what? A lack of knowledge. So they show all these little examples of what they want to consider love and tolerance. You got, vicious, oppressors who are in the police force, white supremacist racists, many of them, washing an Israelite feet. They have a priest washing a homosexual's feet. They have lesbian. I mean, just all kind of wicked, just clever. It's all about Jesus and love. Really? Do you know, brothers and sisters, that every, major slaughter, genocide, were led by so-called religious groups, religious movements, Muslims, Christians, etc.? You go ask the Indian people, the people over in Pakistan, India, what all that shit was going on with them when it came down to, Gandhi and, and who they were going to worship, one of their millions of gods. It's always been about that. A blood sacrifice led by the religious among us. And if you know anything about European history, you know that they came in the name of the cross to slaughter the natives. They came in the name of cross to colonize, the African, and they, without question, the islands and the Americas. And that's all of the Americas, from Argentina all the way up, to Norwegian parts of this earth. The Vikings, all of them, believe it or not, had their gods, Gyro, etc. Same gods, vicious, wicked, blood-letting heathens. And of course, they taught our people this. But I digress. So that was promoted. And then if that wasn't enough, the game itself, the way it ended. If you saw the game or you know anything about it, it ended in overtime. And if you know anything about overtime, there's a process where that the game ends what they call sudden death. Now in life's nice case, the first team scores, the next team has an opportunity to score. If it does, and they do score, then the game is finished abruptly. Sudden death. Interestingly enough, the final score of that game was 25. The losing team on the score was 22. That was their score. Now, unless you had your head in the sand somewhere, we all know that we were told, at the time of the mandate time, that time, the time of not in the inoculation time, that those who are warning were saying 3 to 5 years in the initiation of that particular event for those who participated in it from year 22 to about year 25 is where you would really see sudden death. There was even a movie called, a documentary called that. You guys remember? The documentary Sudden Death? I know it was on Rumble and some of the other programs. See, but our people have forgotten those things. Y'all brought that to my attention this morning. The Super Bowl is the most watched event on this earth. At least one of the most watched events on this earth. What avenue would be the best avenue for them to hide in plain sight what they know is coming? Between 2022 and 2025. We're in 2024 now. Again, final score 22-25, sudden death, the end, abruptly. And of course, they did their little celebrations, and in the beginning, one of the sisters pointed out they did their whole lift up every voice and sing the passive, song that they always push for our people. The heathens don't mind us singing "We Shall Overcome." They never have. They don't mind us saying lift every voice and sing. What they do mind is us saying pick up a gun and fight back. Now that they have a problem with. But again, that's a story for another day. But this I want to say to my brothers and sisters. If there was ever a time for you to be prepared, if there were ever a time for you to turn back to Yahuwah and Him only, if the heathens are pushing anything New Testament, and Jesus is New Testament, don't let anybody tell you anything to the contrary. They might give Him a new name, but He is new. The whole New Testament is attributed to Him. Whether you want to call Him Yahushua, Jesus, Zeus, Na, Ra, Gyro, Tumaz, Semiramis, Krishna, whatever. That is His book. That is the heathen's book that was pushed down from generation to generation upon Israel, because they knew that Yah would never tolerate us serving their deities. And He is one of their primary deities. That's why they pushed Him last night in that event, to encourage those of us who are still in denial of who you are. I'm talking about the Israelites among us, the ones that Julius Maccabees, Matthew Yahuwah, and Second Maccabees chapter 2, First Maccabees chapter 2, how he rid the land of all of those idolaters, those Israelite idolaters who were among them at that time and who were pushing the king's religion, as they're still doing today. So let me say again, brothers and sisters, if you think that was just some little innocent event last night or a nothing burger, I'm telling you, you missed it. Not the game. I'm talking about the signs of the times. I'm talking about the subtle hidden messages of what is to come. Israel, it's time that we wake up. It's time that we get ourselves prepared. It's time that we recognize that the love of Yahuwah has set the watchmen here for you, for all of us, so that we would be informed, that we would understand the time that we're in. That's not what Daniel said to us in Daniel chapter 12, verse 4 and 5. What did he say? That knowledge would be increased, right? And only the wise would understand. But he said the rest, they will continue on their path of deception. Again, their path of a lack of knowledge or ignorance, whatever word you want to use. And again, Hosea 4 and 6 said that for that very reason we are destroyed. And Proverbs chapter 1 says that they rejected knowledge. Proverbs chapter 1 verse 20 through 27 said that Yah said that when I brought forth knowledge, they didn't want that knowledge. They rejected that knowledge. As many of our people are going to reject this knowledge. I know. I know they will. But that doesn't have to be you, my brothers and sisters. This information is Yah's warning to us. As Moses, when we were leaving out of Egypt, Moses told the people about tomorrow morning, y'all better be ready, y'all better be packed up, because we leaving this place. All those who listened to Moses, they got out. Those who resisted or who rebelled, who felt that, no, I'm not going to do all that, don't take all that, I'm good where I am, they were destroyed. Now, if that's a lesson in history and Yah doesn't change, then I think you might want to reconsider whether or not you want to continue in the king's religion, where they have taught us to accept every kind of paganistic, idolatry, lace, dogma, demonic forces known to mankind, and every kind of wickedness therein. Y'all even had a part of it, where a woman who was coming out of Planned Parenthood was getting her foot washed by people who were protesting against the killing of babies. That's how corrupt and wicked these heathens have become. And never think for 1 second, brothers and sisters, that we as a people of Israel, all of us, are the target. But unfortunately, only a very few of us are going to pay attention and take heed and do what is necessary to survive the storm to come. In other words, we're going to get militant in every way. Spiritual militant, physically militant, and health-wise militant. Or else be prepared for mass destruction, because it is on its way. Now, you can take this information, I hope you share it. I hope that you see the value in it and you'll thumb it up. But at the end of the day, it's still up to you. I respect your decision. You don't think it's true, you don't have to think it's true. If you think that this is an exaggeration, so be it. But for those very few of us out here, the remnant, I just wanted to let you know, they know we're here. They know 2024 is going to be a time of tears. You've heard your brother say it more than once. So many tears, so many fears. And most sad about it, it could have been avoided. But when Yah said, and I brought knowledge, again, Proverbs chapter 1, he said, when I came knowledge, you laughed at that knowledge. He said the simple just wanted simplicity. Just let me be passive. Leave me alone. I'm good. I love my sweet Jesus. He said that in their day of trouble, what he would do, he said, I would laugh at them. This is Yahuwah, not your brother. This is what Yahuwah said, he's going to laugh at them. So, again, share the message, but I wanted to inform you, in that 22 to 25 score, that's not a coincidence. Sudden death, brothers, think about it. They're telling us, brothers and sisters, they're giving us every kind of signal they can give us. The question is, do you have eyes to see, ears to hear, and a heart, if necessary, to repent, turn back to Yah, and a desire to learn, to grow, and to know, and to understand? It could be the difference between you getting into the eternal blessings of Yah, or when you go into this place, eternal damnation. Brother DFG, Shalom, Israel. Yahuwah better said Shalom.